Hey everyone. So I feel very passionate today and wanted to share my thoughts on fucking suppressed femininity in our society. Okay. Um I'm gonna try to keep this video like focused and to the point. I want to make other videos about neurodivergence, being a neurodivergent woman whilst undergoing a spiritual awakening. I want to make videos around that as well. I'm going to try to keep this focused, but I'm quite ADHD, so bear with me. I can be quite scatterbrained and like go off on tangents, and then I'm like, I don't even remember like what I was originally talking about. So bear with me. But specifically, I want to make this video about the devastating impacts of the suppression of women and femininity in our society. Because, oh my God, it just blows my mind. Like, it's kind of unbelievable. From my perspective, the deadening of empathy and of the feminine, and how our society is just, and this isn't saying anything, I just want to clarify, not saying anything bad about men, because this impacts men as well, right? We all have feminine and masculine within us. We're all on a spectrum, right? And no matter our sex, whether we are biologically female or biologically male, energetically, on an individual level, but also on a more, on a societal level, we want these polarities to be balanced, right? Like, that's the goal, is for there to be a balance. If we're swinging too much one or the other way, that's not ideal. So our society has just become so dominated by the masculine and having all of these patriarchal structures in place. And it's crazy how blind, like, because I've been going through, I'm on a twin flame journey. Like, if that throws you off, then this shit is not going to be for you, so you can leave right now. Because there's all kinds of controversy about twin flames, but if you know, you know, and you only know if you've been through it yourself. So my meeting my twin flame is what acted as the catalyst for my spiritual awakening. And before my spiritual awakening, I was so blind to this. In fact, I almost, I had a disdain and so much judgment for the feminine myself. Looking back on it, like, I remember, and it's one of my favorite books to this day. It's called, oh fuck, what's it called? For the Love of God. For the Love of God. And it is a culmination of essays written by different, or written by a variety of different spiritual leaders and like spiritual or religious people. And it's just phenomenal. I highly recommend it. And I remember there's an essay in there, and I can't remember who wrote this one off the top of my head, but she was talking about exactly this, about how she felt like she was missing the goddess aspect of spirituality. And she felt so much shame around this. She felt so much shame about being drawn to the Virgin Mary, because I believe she was a Jew. And I guess, at least from my recollection, Jews they don't believe in Mary, or I don't know, but they don't. But I remember her saying that her parents, like, like ridiculed her, or just like did not approve of the fact that she was really drawn to the Virgin Mary. And I remember kind of scoffing at that essay. I was like, no, like I think that's stupid. I remember thinking that women who thought that way, or that people who thought that way, were, I want to say, like, full of themselves. And similarly, I remember like when I would see women like on Instagram, I would see women dancing sexy. And I was very judgmental towards them. I was like, oh, they're just so full of themselves. Like, who does she think she is to like be dancing like that? But there was this inner turmoil, because on one hand I was drawn to it. I was drawn to that, especially like, heels dancing or like pole dancing. I was very drawn to it. But on the other hand, I was so, there was a part of me that was repelled by it, or that was very judgmental about it. And this has been an ongoing experience of like this inner war of these like conflicting parts of myself, like battling with each other. And of course, I was totally blind at the time, totally blind to the fact that the reason I had so much judgment was because I was carrying a fuckload of shame around being a woman. When I say a fuckload of shame, fuckload doesn't even, it's not emphatic enough. um, it's all I've been doing the past 4 years is feeling this agonizing shame. And shame is such a sticky feeling and emotion to work through, because it really feels like it's who you are too. Like when you're so identified with it, you feel like you will feel ashamed of yourself forever, because it's just like intertwined with your DNA or something, right? It goes so deep to like the core of your being. It's one of the most, I think shame is one of the most excruciating things that we can experience as a human. I also think it is the most difficult, I don't know what you want to call it, emotion, the most difficult emotion to work through and overcome. I that's been my personal experience anyways. I think it was also difficult for me to accept my own femininity, because I also naturally possess a lot of masculinity too. I mean, I was very masculinized through the religious conditioning, because I grew up in a with a Catholic background, very Catholic family. And just oh my gosh, the lack of empathy in my family, that like the lack of empathy and the disconnection was so prevalent. And I didn't even realize that I was so fucking lonely as a child. Especially because I was so emotionally intelligent, because I'm neurodivergent, ADHD, and suspected high functioning autism, or if you want to call that autism, like level 1. But I was very sensitive and very emotionally intelligent, and I was always catering to other people's emotions, and I absorbed, right? I absorbed people's shit. I was like a sponge, and I never learned boundaries. And so I also feel like I absorbed a lot of like toxic traits. I want to say, especially from my dad. Like, he definitely had a lot of toxic masculinity, arrogance, you know, yeah, a lot of arrogance and anger too, a lot of anger, aggression. And so I absorbed a lot of that. And because I possess a lot of masculine energy naturally, my masculine also became very wounded. And I don't want to say I became arrogant, but I was holding on to a lot of that arrogance. And because at a soul level, I'm so deeply empathetic, holding on to all those things that I was never meant to carry has been so painful. It's been such a heavy burden. Like, oh my God, and unpacking all of it, it's just like, I mean, literally, even though like I'm not, and it's interesting, right? Because I'm not religious, and religion has had very like very negative consequences for me. But at the same time, I did develop a very close relationship with Jesus and like the Christ story of like, Jesus like carrying, the cross on his back and like suffering so much and being tormented so much. That's how this journey of unpacking and healing this shame has truly felt. Like, truly. Like, I was gonna say, that would sound so disrespectful though. I was gonna say, I honestly might have rather like gone through what Jesus did than like the emotional turmoil, but no, not really. I mean, no disrespect, but but right, um there's so many helpful metaphorical and symbolic um elements to religion that can really resonate with the human condition as we're going through these things. It's just that so much of it is misinterpreted and misconstrued and therefore not taught and applied properly in the real world in a way that is, in a way that's not damaging. That's not damaging and that's not shaming. So again, I'm just like, stream. That's how I operate. I just let the stream of consciousness flow where it may. um, so anyways, kind of back to the original point of like being a woman and carrying all this shame. And I didn't even realize until pretty recently, this last week, it's kind of been like a little meditation retreat for me. I'm cat sitting for my sister, and she lives in Port Orchard, where it's just so quiet and peaceful. I've had so much time to myself. And I didn't even realize that my shame was predominantly a result of feeling inferior as a woman. Like, I knew there were lots of aspects of myself I was ashamed of. Like, for instance, I do have shame around my neurodivergence, absolutely. I have shame around being really quirky and weird and just different and like not fitting into like, the typical standards. Being out of the box and I feel shame around my masculinity as well. Like, this belief I should be less masculine as a woman if I'm a woman. Like, like I should be more like prim and submissive and proper and pretty. But I did not realize that at the core of my shame was literally just shame of simply being a woman, of existing in this world as a woman. um, and not being taught to have boundaries, and then just, constantly feeling like I'm walking on eggshells. I'm not feeling like I can stand up for myself. Always feeling this dread, this like existential dread of I just have to accept. I just have to accept all the bullshit that comes my way. Like, I have no power. I'm completely powerless. I have no say. I have no voice. As I've been healing and really peeling back all of those layers and confronting this shame head on, I've seen this girl, this woman, in my meditations. With my awareness, I've been able to see her. And it's like she's been contorted. Like she's like this, almost a scared animal that's in this, like she's imprisoned in this cage. And she like can't break out of it because she feels powerless. And it's almost like by the way, this is one of the most painful things for me to feel, was like how dead she feels, and therefore just how dead I felt. And still, like, I'm still working through this. Honestly, I had the I want to say the most intense movement of Shakti in my system than I've ever felt ever this last week. And I'm feeling it. I'm starting to feel this passion, this aliveness coming back. It's very exciting. But dead, feeling absolutely dead inside, like just an empty shell of a person, like no life, just death. But it was like she's this wounded animal who's also mute. Like, I remember I had a medicine journey. And I remember I couldn't talk. I was just like I have so much, and this is why it's been so painful, because there's so much truth here. There's so much wisdom that wants to be expressed, but she's so fucking scared to express herself authentically and freely. And like observing this part of myself, yes, was painful, but really the most painful part was how powerless I felt in helping her escape from that cage. I couldn't do it. Not on my own. Like, no matter how hard I tried, all the practices, all the techniques, all the effort to try to break her free from these shackles, it's like all my efforts were in vain. I couldn't do it no matter what I did. I could not like save her. I couldn't help her. I remember when I realized this, it was like devastating, but then that started breaking me open to this surrender, to this yielding to something greater. to work through me. For something greater to take the reins, to let go, and to let the divine take control. Man, the surrender and the humility. The humility of truly seeing that you're not in control of this, that it's not up to you. And that, as like counterintuitive as it may seem to the mind, the trying and the striving is actually part of what's keeping you in the cage. So when you actually feel into how powerless you really are, that's where the letting go starts to happen. And it's a terrible, terrible thing to feel. And I remember feeling like a failure. I remember apologizing to God. I'm like, I've failed. Like, oh my God, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing more I can do except let go. And that's where and we all know it deep inside, that this is where the magic starts to happen. I can feel it. I feel there's something different in the air, and I don't know if anyone else, let me know if anyone else is feeling this. I'm feeling one of maybe the most powerful shifts I've ever undergone right now. We're getting very close to the full moon as well. So yeah, let me know how you all are feeling at this time. But I don't want to make this too much longer. I don't really want to go over 25 minutes. So but what I really want to drive home here is that being a woman is not being perfect, prim, proper, pretty, or being more fucking palatable or digestible. Something I'm realizing is that one of the most beautiful aspects of the feminine is her messiness, and is of her acceptance of her messiness, is of her just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if I'm imperfect. I'm messy. I'm chaotic, but this is me, and here I am, and fucking take it or leave it. That is so attractive. And all this time we spent trying to conform and to make ourselves into this image of what we think a woman is or should be, instead of just being our natural, authentic, like messy, crazy, wild, the wildness that just wants to be expressed, that wants to be embodied. Oh my God. That is what makes a woman so beautiful. The thing that makes a woman so beautiful is the thing that we're trying to like make go away, that we're trying to like, man. Yeah, the very thing that makes a woman so authentically beautiful is the thing that we've admonished about ourselves. We admonish ourselves for not being perfect, for being like too much, man. too fucking, too passionate, too enthusiastic, too quirky, too obnoxious, too empowered, right? Like who does she think she is? Like, she's so full of herself, and like I was I used to be that way. Especially women who, and again, it was kind of an inner grapple because I was simultaneously drawn and repelled to women who were very sure of themselves and exerted very strong boundaries. I really looked up to women like that, but there was also a like, there was jealousy there because I was like, why can't I? Why can't I be that way? What's stopping me from being empowered? Man, a woman in her raw, unbridled, unfiltered authenticity is fucking unstoppable. And it just an we are as women unstoppable forces of nature, believe you me. And anyone who fucking tells you otherwise, who gives a flipping fuck, bro? Just, yeah, just, you know what? Just walk away. Just walk away. You don't, and the thing is that once you start being your true self, it becomes very apparent and evident, you know, who you want in your life and who isn't meant. You know, if they can't handle you, then just let them leave. You know, let people show you who they are, and don't take it as a don't take it as an insult to your character. It says nothing about you, honey. It says nothing about you. They're not there yet. They're not at that point where they, you know, they haven't processed their own trauma enough to see that you are just a mirror. You are just a mirror showing them where they still hold, um, judgment towards themselves. That's why getting triggered is so beautiful. Like, for myself, because I'm not saying, like, of course I get, but now I really do look at it as an opportunity. I'm like, okay, why? Let's investigate here. It's just an opportunity to go deeper and to introspect more deeply and learn more about myself. And wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone looked at it that way? When you're triggered, you really want to blame the other person, but it's, you know, really look. And yeah, it means you gotta feel. It means you gotta feel things that you've been avoiding for God knows how long. And before I end this video, because we're nearing 30 minutes, the last thing that I want to mention is part of the reason this healing journey has been so difficult is because I have been healing so much ancestral and generational trauma. I'm a generational curse breaker. And man, all you generational curse breakers out there, the fucking star seeds and empaths, and oh my God, seriously, my heart truly goes out to you. We are spiritual fucking warriors. And the reason that we're going through it is because, oh my God. And I just know it, like, listen. I have yet to experience my best life, but I know it's coming for me, and I know it's coming for you too. The only reason we're going through so much is just because God has such big things planned for us. And the more pain we allow ourselves to feel, the more love and joy we can feel on the other side of that. And I know you're probably like, but where's the other side? Like, this shit feels never ending, but stay the course. Stay the course. Don't fucking give up. You resilient, like, you resilient, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful warrior. I believe in you. We have fucking got this shit. You're not alone. You're so not alone. And this is, I just want people to know, especially women, and you know, more, it's like sensitive souls, sensitive neurodivergent females who are just either just struggling with their neurodivergence in general, or who are on a spiritual awakening path. Magic is awaiting us. We're just we just gotta be patient. And that's the message. I think of all the messages I have received, and it's a little annoying. It can be frustrating because it's just patience. Patience and trust. And so I want to extend that message to all of you. Yeah, I hope that this resonated with somebody. And if not, it's just, it feels, I'm very much an external processor. It really helps me to talk about these things out loud, and I feel like I need to share what I've learned. Yeah, there's so many people out there sharing similar messages, but all of those, you know, people I follow who are transmitting these divine messages, I am equally grateful for each and every single one of them, because you can't spread too much light, honey. There's no such thing. The more the merrier. So I'm gonna end it there. Sending you so much love. Yeah, if this video was helpful, please like let me know. Please comment, let me know yeah, what you took from this video, or share something about your own journey. And if there are like other, if you are on a spiritual path, other like subjects or topics that you might be interested in me speaking upon and sharing my experience about. So, okay, I'll take care of y'all. Mwah.